This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, welcome to Isha Training Solutions. Hello all, welcome everyone. So we will wait for 2 more minutes for others to join, okay, and then we will start the webinar session. So we will wait for 2 more minutes and then we will start the webinar. Thank you. Hi everyone, once again, welcome to Isha Training Solutions. So today, a webinar on AppDynamics APM tool. Okay, a webinar on AppDynamics APM tool. Why? Because we wanted to have that exposure, the awareness, understanding of AppDynamics APM tool. Because the industry is expecting you should know at least one APM tool in the market. Predominantly AppDynamics, Dynatrace kind of a tool. So right now, what we are doing, we are trying to get some understanding on AppDynamics APM tool. So it is the industry is moving towards a trend. What is the trend? No more only your performance testing tool alone will help you. You should have these APM tool understanding, which will help you to get more insight about your problem statement. Okay, so that is the reason I'm saying we all should know about one APM tool, predominantly AppDynamics or Dynatrace. Okay, so that's how we are going to get the understanding of this APM tool. Because if I ask this question to 4 years experienced or 5-year experienced performance tester, do you know any APM tool in the industry? They'll say, first of all, you tell me what is APM. That is how people are asking question nowadays, because they don't have that awareness, they don't have that understanding of these APM tools. So that is the reason we wanted to have this webinar, to give that understanding to everyone. What is this APM tool means? Why we have to use this APM tool? What benefit you will get if you are using the APM tool? In what way, if you are using this tool, you can easily identify the problem statement. So that is the reason we are having this webinar session. So yes, I'm going to share my knowledge about this APM tool, but you guys can stop me, ask your question, and then we can move to the next discussion point. Okay, so there is nothing like time bound things. Like whatever you want, you can ask your question. We will discuss here. We are here to have a healthy discussion about this APM tool, because that's how I'm thinking you guys can get the more understanding about this tool. Okay, here we joined this webinar session to get a proper understanding about this APM tool. So you can ask me any question. Okay, so APM tool, in general, APM tool, application, performance monitoring or management, monitoring or management tool. Application, performance monitoring or management tool. Monitoring means what? It will only monitor. Management means what? Apart from monitoring, there are additional managing activities we are doing. So, I mean, traditionally, if you go back like 10 years or 15 years before, this was not the case, right? Like you cannot think about this line item. What was the scenario at that time? If you think about those days, problem statement, if you think about problem statement, response time level problem, error level problem, exception level problem, CPU level problem, memory level problem, like that. Based on the problem statement, you should use one tool. It may be DB side, it may be infra side, it may be application side, it may be anything. Okay, so those days what will happen, you need to minimum like 3 tools or 5 tools you have to use to come to a conclusion. To come to a conclusion whether there is a problem or what, you should use 3 to 5 tools, different tools you have to use. It may be static monitoring tool, or it may be profiling tools, or it may be infrastructure monitoring tools. Like that, you should use different tools to come to a conclusion. But now this is actually agile world. I mean, people are working in agile projects and DevOps projects, right? So you cannot expect you will spend some 24 hours or 48 hours to simply do the investigation. No, you cannot say. You cannot say that I will spend so and so time to do the problem analysis. No, you cannot tell like that. Now the expectation is totally different. You should definitely find the problem in within 2 hours or 3 hours. You have to find the problem, you have to fix the problem, you have to provide the new branch of code. Everything you have to do it fast. Nowadays the expectation is like that. The expectation is you should do everything fast. That is what nowadays everybody is actually doing. It is actually agile world. You cannot spend more time in simply identifying the problem statement itself. No. So you think like this. I mean, in order to identify the problem statement, you will only get 3 hours or 4 hours. Means look at the way that you have to work. Look at the way that you have to investigate. So in that case, you cannot use 3 tools or 5 tools to identify the problem statement itself. No, you don't have that much of a time to identify the problem statement. You should definitely use this kind of a APM tool, application performance monitoring or application performance management tools, to identify the problem, root cause analysis in a shorter span of time. Okay, root cause analysis in a shorter span of time, and then try to fix the issue, deploy it, and then you can completely reuse the application without having any problem. That is the expectation. That is the expectation. Okay. You should not say like I will use so and so time for investigation, so and so time for fixing the issue, so and so time for redeployment. No, you cannot tell like that. The industry is actually moving towards a very fast deployment cycle. Okay, maybe I'll ask this question. I mean, how many of you are having 2 week sprint cycle? 2 weeks. 2 week sprint cycle.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
this
we
in our
have.
organization.
Yeah. So look at the pressure, guys. I mean, within 2 weeks, sprint cycle is there means you need to do development, you need to do testing, you need to do performance testing, you need to do user acceptance testing, everything in that timeline. So in that case, you cannot expect to provide so much of time for a problem identification itself. No, you cannot. You cannot take that much of a time because the release sprint cycle itself is very short. So in that case, doing extensive level of testing, I mean load, stress, volume, endurance, scalability, no, you cannot get that much of a time. So in that case, these APM tools will help you to get more insight about your application infrastructure, application database, everything you can do it in a very shorter span of time. So that's where this APM tool is actually very important. Very important. So now AppDynamics. So AppDynamics, not only AppDynamics, every APM tool is working in the concept of agents. Agent. What is agent? It's a piece of software. Okay, you have, maybe I'll draw like this. Like you may be having one browser, you may be having one app server, you may be having one DB server. Okay, all these are there. So I need to monitor or understand browser traffic, app server traffic, DB server traffic. So what I have to do? In what way I can identify the problems? So I can use agents. AppDynamics agent. In this case, AppDynamics agent, but usually APM tool agents. So agents will be available in each and every place. That agent will collect the data. Agent will collect the data. So that is actually displayed in your AppDynamics tool. In your AppDynamics tool, it will display the data. It may be browser metric, it may be app server metric, it may be DB server metric, whatever. You are going to use this APM agents that will collect the data, and you are going to do the monitoring. You are going to do the monitoring. Okay. So in this case, I know I'm going to do a monitoring. I know I'm going to do so and so monitoring. What are all the possible things that are there in AppDynamics? Application agent. Application agent. Machine agent. Machine agent. Database agent. Database agent. User experience agent. User experience agent. User experience agent. Okay, so these are like your different types of, even analytics is also available, but on a high note, application agent, machine agent, database agent, user experience agent. These are the different types of agents that are available. These are readily available. Okay, so just a minute. Readily available, and in that also, say like app agent means you can monitor maybe a Java application. App agent means Java application you can monitor, .NET application you can monitor, Perl, Python, Node.js, like that you can monitor different applications. Machine agent also Windows Server, Linux server, like that you can do the monitoring. Database agent also you can monitor like MySQL DB, MongoDB, all those things you can monitor. User experience agent means you can do a real user monitoring. You can do a synthetic monitoring. So all those things are still possible. So why I am telling all these things? Because I told you, right, like earlier days, those days you usually use profiling tool separately, application monitoring tool separately, infrastructure monitoring tool separately, DB monitoring tool separately. Like that, I told you different tools for different level of understanding. But now, this single APM tool is having the capability to monitor different technology or different infrastructure or different databases. So that is the reason I told you this is an extensive list of agents that are available that will actually do the purpose. You are in your organization, if you are using a Java based application or what, or Windows application or what, MySQL DB or what, or you wanted to do a real user monitoring or synthetic monitoring or what, like that, based on the requirement, different monitoring can be done in AppDynamics. Different monitoring can be done in the AppDynamics. Okay, so these are some high level of understanding about your agents. I'll take a pause here. Any question till now? Anybody have any question till now?
Sarwan, I have in cloud also it will work same way, right? Agents
Yes, 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 you can do.
like RDS and our database, because it's not server, it's RDS. So how the agent will work there?
So, say the integration steps for AWS is little different, so you have to do that.
Okay, okay, fine.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. This AppDynamics and Dynatrace are very mature in the market. Okay. Uh, yes, they have all provisions, but you need to explore things. I mean, there are things will be out of the box, readily available. Market available agents are there. There are things you need to do customization for your need. For your need, you need to do the customization. So yes, you can do it. In that case, you can do it. Yes. Any other question?
Saravanan, whether it supports standalone applications?
Windows based?
Yeah, Windows based.
Uh, we can try. Okay, but the success rate will not be like this. I mean, application level or other things level, it's possible. Okay, I mean, if you are trying to go little beyond, that time it will be little tricky. But other than that, you can still try doing it. Yes.
Okay.
See, that's what I'm saying. Options are available, but it is case to case. I mean, there are things that are readily available in the market, and there are things you need to customize to your own need. So yes, yes. If your requirement is little tricky, yes, you need to explore. If your expectation is actually straightforward, there are readily available agents that are there. You can do the monitoring. Any other question?
Hi, Sarvanan.
Yes.
Yeah, if my application is a combination of two technologies, then how we can configure the agents?
Yeah, separate agents can be configured. Only thing is the server where it is actually hosted and the
Mhm.
startup file of that server. In that startup file of the server, you are going to configure your agent, that is app agent, and you are going to do the monitoring. Yes, you can do it. Hybrid things and all is possible. Only thing is you need to configure the agents in the startup file. That's the only thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, I mean, I told you this is actually useful to do a full stack monitoring, complete monitoring. I mean, there is an expectation, right? You cannot hire people for only doing application level monitoring, separately doing database monitoring, separately doing browser level monitoring, like that. You cannot hire multiple people for the same activity. The scenario is different. Okay, the scenario is different. You cannot expect that many people for a single activity. You need to have a single tool which is a solution for all your problem statement. That is actually the APM tool. In that case, we are choosing one mature tool which is actually your AppDynamics tool. Okay, so you have different technology support, agent level support that are there, so that you can easily deploy those agents in your organization application stack, and then you can start doing your monitoring. Okay, so it is about what you are going to do. I mean, application alone I'm going to monitor, or what infrastructure alone I'm going to monitor, or what DB alone I'm going to monitor, or what, like that. You have to decide it, and based on that you have to procure the license. Based on the technology that are there in your application, you are going to procure the license, and then you are going to use it. So that's how this APM tool actually basically working. It's actually basically working. Okay, so what else? Maybe I'll quickly show you. So I'm going to log in into AppDynamics. Okay, because you should know what's actually happening in AppDynamics, right? So that's the reason. So if you are logging into it, you can see, I mean, so you are going to launch your account. I mean, your SaaS account you are launching. So you can learn, I mean, you can learn the different capabilities that are there in the tool. Okay, you can learn like application level, or server level, or DB level, or user experience level, or other wonderful capabilities that are there in the tool as well. AppDynamics tool is having a good amount of different capabilities are there, so you can learn and then you can implement it in your organization application. So maybe I'll show you under the home tab. There is a getting started wizard is there. So if we are going here, I told you, right, like application level, user experience level, database level, server level, like that you can have a different agents that are available. Okay, you have your Java agent, .NET agent, PHP agent, Python agent. So like that you have different agents that are there. Okay, so you can have it. You can have those things. Okay, so you can have those things and then you can do your monitoring. So this is all out of the box. That is what I told you. This is all out of the box. Apart from this also you can do your application monitoring with the certain configuration customization. We have to do it, but you can do all type of monitoring. I mean, you have to explore the core capability of the AppDynamics tool and then you can use it for your monitoring activities. Okay, so maybe I'm going to the application tab. So I told you you can do application monitoring or user experience monitoring, database monitoring, server monitoring, like that. You have different options that are there. Maybe say like if I click on this one sample application that I created already. So if I go here and then if I filter the data, probably just a minute. So I already deployed my application agent. Okay, I deployed my application agent. So I don't want to, since there is a webinar, I don't want to show the configuration steps and all. The application is ready. The application agent is actually configured in the AppDynamics. Okay, so if I show you simply the agent configuration path alone. So this is my Apache Tomcat server. This is my Apache Tomcat server startup file. In that startup file, this is the file name. Yeah, this is a file name. Okay, this is a file name. So I configured this file name in the startup file. Okay, so it is a Java server. So Java agent I configured in the startup file. So say like if I after the configuration, if I start the server, Apache Tomcat server, as a usual process, I am going to start the server. If I start the server, it will show you the details. Okay, maybe it will show you the AppDynamics agent related. Look at here. All these are AppDynamics agent related information because AppDynamics agent is actually configured. Look at here, everything is saying Java agent, Java agent, Java agent, like that. And then Java agent started successfully message also will come. So what is that meaning? You have your application server configured with the AppDynamics application agent. Means you can do further investigation because it will collect the data and it will report the data into your AppDynamics account, and further monitoring can be easily done. So now the agent is actually configured in the application server and further you are doing your investigation. I'll take a pass here. Any question guys till now? Anybody has any question?
Seven, whether this agent need to be installed in all app servers or only in web server?
Now, app server application layer, in your startup file, you need to configure this. There is nothing like installation as such. It is like configuring your application agent in the path, startup file path. You have to configure it, and that will do the monitoring. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So now my what is that? My app server is actually started. So purposefully, I wanted to show you guys like what is happening, right? So I'm simply going and starting JMeter tool. Simply starting JMeter tool. So I prepared one sample script for my application. What application? That application which is monitored by my AppDynamics, right? That application I prepared a sample script. I prepared a sample script for that application. Okay, I'm opening that sample script which I prepared for the application which I'm right now monitoring using AppDynamics agent. So this is my sample script. This script is prepared with the sample application. Okay, this script is prepared with the sample application. So if I'm giving the load through JMeter, it will hit the application, and then you are going to collect the data. So I'm hitting the test with the 2-user load simply. The test is actually started. If I go there and see, the load is actually running. The load is actually running. So which means that when the load is actually running, within very few minutes, you are going to get the data here. Okay. Probably I'll filter the data for last 30 minutes. So slowly the data will come. Probably you have to wait for 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, usually the initial data collection will take a little time. So we have to wait for 3 to 5 minutes to get it resolved. Okay, so we'll wait for 3 to 5 minutes and see how the log is actually coming in AppDynamics. I'll take a pass here. Any question, guys, till now? So business transaction health came. Now node health came. So slowly it is actually populating the value. So we are waiting for the complete data to be populated.
Saravanan, what is meant by node health here?
What is meant by
Node health here?
I'll explain. So
Okay,
you have high level understanding of an application, means that is actually considered as tier. Okay, 1 tier, 2 tier, 3 tier, like that you are saying, right? That is the
right.
application level understanding. That is actually connected with how many machines. That is actually called as node level. Okay, that particular tier is having how many machines, how many nodes that are there. That is actually called as node level. So in our case, it is 1 tier, 1 node. So we don't have any problem. So where you have more tier or where you have more node, you have to check this particular case. Any question?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So now if I reload it, most of the metrics will be available. Yeah. So look at here, it is actually saying my tier Java one node. My tier Java one node. So which means that you have one tier, one node, and then it's a Java application. And it's all green right now. It's all green right now.
Yes.
It's all green right now, which means that all the values are under the specified SLA, under the value. Okay. So if there is any problem, the color will change accordingly. The color will change accordingly. So right now you don't have any problem. Right now we don't have any problem because it is all green. Where there is a problem, that time only you are going to do the investigation. So you don't want to do any, I mean, right now you are comparing with the baseline value. That is the reason it is showing us green. Say like you are thinking like, no, I don't want to compare with any baseline value, means it will be normal. It will be normal. I mean, it is not going to give you any positive or negative kind of thing then. If you are comparing with the baseline, say like if you are comparing with the baseline only, it will show you the entire node is a green color or amber or a red one. Like that, it will show you the color change. And lot of informations are there, guys. Okay, I mean, today is a webinar, so I don't want to give you each and every level understanding and all, but lot of capabilities are there. Okay, I mean, you can see application dashboard level or top business transaction level or snapshot level or scorecard level, like that. Different investigation strategies are there, but the intent is very simple. You are trying to find the fault in your application layer. Say like it may be a Java application or it may be a Node.js application. That layer you are trying to find the fault. That is the reason you are configuring this app agent. You are configuring this app agent. Okay. So I'll take a pass here. Any question, guys? So here only, I mean, there are important things are there. I mean, sometimes in interview or anywhere, people will ask like, how will you do the root cause analysis in AppDynamics? Means yes, it is easy because there is a concept called call graph. There is a concept called call graph. Using that option, you can simply find the problem very easily. Which method call, which line item is actually creating the problem, or is it spending time in the infrastructure level, or is it spending, I mean, time in the sense like the problem is there in the infrastructure side or the problem there in the DB side, like that. You can simply do your investigation using the call graph, option. Okay, I mean, those who are working in Dynatrace, it is actually called as pure path. In AppDynamics, it is actually called as call graph. So that is actually very useful to identify the problem statement. In most of the interviews, they will definitely check you have the understanding about call graph or not. They'll definitely check you have experience in using the call graph or not. That's how people will check it. So in that case, you can even learn about call graph related concepts as well. Any question, guys, till now? Yeah. So not only application agent, guys. Okay, even you can go to your server level in the sense like you have your infrastructure level monitoring. It may be CPU, memory, disk, network, process, whatever you wanted to monitor. AppDynamics is having a capability, but there are two licenses are there. One is machine agent, another one is server visibility license. Machine agent, server visibility license. You only wanted to have a plain vanilla scenario. You only wanted to have a plain vanilla monitoring of CPU, memory, disk. In that case, you can use the machine agent. But if you wanted to get a very detailed understanding of your infrastructure, you can get the server visibility license, which is additional license you have to purchase. Okay, so in that case, you can do the infrastructure monitoring also using the AppDynamics tool. Infrastructure monitoring, CPU level, memory level, disk level. You wanted to identify the problem, you can use the machine agent data. Machine agent data can be monitored. So this is also one of the agent type. Next one is you can use database agent. Database agent. So in industry, if you go and do any survey study, you know, mostly your application problem or outages that are related to VAS, mostly it is related to database. So you have this many type of database monitoring capability that is actually available. Couchbase, Cassandra, DB2, Azure, SQL Server, MongoDB, MySQL, Oracle. Like that, you have different agent configuration capabilities are there. So you can do database monitoring using AppDynamics agent. One more thing also, AppDynamics agent, AppDynamics database agent is having infrastructure monitoring capability as well. What is that meaning? You don't want to have a separate machine agent whenever you are doing a database agent monitoring, because database agent will also do a infrastructure monitoring. So you can use, say, like MySQL DB agent or MongoDB agent. Along with that, you can do the machine agent also can be used. Infrastructure monitoring can also be performed. Okay, so database is also one of the agent capability that is actually available in AppDynamics. Any question, guys? Yeah. Similarly, one more agent called user experience agent. How end users are experiencing? End users, when they are using your application, how they are experiencing the problem? Is there any specific problem in the browser level? Or synthetically, if I create the traffic, what is actually happening? Synthetically, if you are creating the traffic, anything is actually happening or what? Or simply I'm launching the application in the browser, what is actually happening? So like that, you can do browser level, real user monitoring, synthetic monitoring can be done. Real user monitoring and synthetic monitoring can be done. That is how we are using the AppDynamics user experience agent. How end users are experiencing. How end users are experiencing the performance. That is how we are trying to do the monitoring. So for that, we are using a user experience agent. So what is happening to your HTML? What is happening to your CSS? What is happening to your JavaScript? Like that, you can individually do your monitoring using the user experience agent. Because your load testing tools are actually not providing this level of metrics. So that is the reason we are using this APM tool. Any question, guys? Anybody have any question? So not only the agent level capabilities, guys, you can also create a dashboard, a common dashboard. You can also create report, okay, weekly report, daily report, monthly report, like that. You can also create report. So dashboarding capability is there, report creation capability is also there. So in that way also you can use this tool. And last and final, very important capability, you can do alerting mechanism. Where there is a problem, you will get a notification. Where there is a problem, you can get the notification. It may be email notification, SMS, or thread dump trigger, or transaction snapshot trigger. Lot of options are there, and this is actually kind of a artificial intelligence behavior. I mean, the tool will find the trend with the available data. If there is any breach in the trend, you will be getting the notification. So all kind of features and capabilities that are there in the tool as well. So manually you can set the threshold, or through the artificial intelligence also you can set the threshold. So all these capabilities are available in AppDynamics. So now today what I expected to do is that I'm creating this awareness, or creating this exploring things in AppDynamics, because this is a need of the market now. Everybody should learn one APM tool in the market. In that case, you can learn AppDynamics tool also, and it is having a great importance. If you are using this AppDynamics tool, how easily you are going to do your performance analysis. Not only your performance testing tool level metric, you are going to use APM tool level metric to identify the problem statement. That is the reason we created this webinar session, to give you a knowledge or importance of this APM tools, guys. Any question till now? Yeah. So with this, we can complete this webinar session. So what what we wanted to do here, we wanted to give that knowledge, understanding of there is a tool called AppDynamics, and what for it is actually used, what are all the different capabilities are there, what customers are actually expecting nowadays, in what way it is actually fulfilling the need of the customers. So in that way we discussed, guys. Okay, so I hope we had a good amount of information shared. Thanks everyone for joining this webinar session. I mean, if you guys wanted to have a detailed session of this, yes, there are regular batches that are going. You guys can join in that batch, and then you can get a detailed understanding of these APM tools. There are 15 hours of a session will take for explaining this APM tool. So you can even join that session as well. Okay. So thanks everyone for joining this webinar. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. Thanks all. Bye bye.
Thanks, Saravanan. Thank you so much.